Action. All right, good afternoon, everyone. You are welcome to this training. This training, I will be running this training since last year, since July last year, and now is on the 11th batch. And I'm very happy and excited that we are starting today. And what makes our training package different from what you have been, attending before is that all GBV trainings you have in Nigeria, about 95% of them are sponsored by foreign donors, USAID, WHO, UNFPA. All right. So now when this organization come around to organize this training for you and for everybody who are attended the training, myself, I attended UNFPA gender training in Maiduguri in 2023. So the point is that when they come like that, they have their own agenda where they come. They have a purpose for doing it. They're not doing it because they love you. They are not doing it because they are very passionate about your problems. They are doing it because of their own personal agenda. So what we do in this course is that we try to blend Afrocentricity, and we are happy that we are able to register the name Afrocentric Masterclass. It means that we are bringing African perspective, African narratives, African culture and civilization, African religious values into the space. And as you know, when Donald Trump became the president now, he has stopped all these GBV issues. And you know, again, I need to tell you, in case you don't know, that LGBT, same-sex marriage, is not compatible with African tradition and religion and culture. You know that already. But these LGBT issues, they are usually packaged under gender-based violence. And that's what they have been doing. But now, Donald Trump has stopped USAID. In the years to come, it's going to be very difficult to see sponsor training on GBV. So I want to congratulate you for coming for this program. You're welcome. And I want to tell you again that in Nigeria, as of today, there is no organization offering this program. Most of the capacity building organizations like our own, EdTech companies like our own, they don't venture into this. They believe that these are the NGO workers who always feel entitled to free trainings, right? Because that feeling of entitlement and which have given them dependency mentality. They feel like it should be free. This kind of training, they will invite you to come for training. They will give you transport allowance. They will feed you and they will accommodate you. That is just the West. And that's what Donald Trump is trying to stop. So what you need to do to improve yourself, you don't wait for somebody else to come and do it for you. That's the introduction. So after this class, I'm going to share a video on the WhatsApp group of Dr. Nuhu, who took our course. And after that, he got a job with an NGO in Yobe State. And he's collecting more than $500,000 per month. All right, so let's start with the basics. What is gender-based violence? Let's go into that. All right. So the aim of this module is to help you understand the concept of GBV, its causes and consequences on women's health. That's the first one. Then to understand the dynamics of GBV in intimate relationships and the resulting behavior of patients showing symptoms of GBV. Now, to reflect on common, so of course in this class, it's not just that I'm here to just pour down on you. I'm going to ask you to reflect on the myths surrounding GBV and how they can influence the healthcare response. So basically, we understand that when the case of GBV happens, the first point of call is to go and meet the go to the medical facility to confirm and to ascertain if assault has been committed. And that's what they do, what they call forensic evidence, forensic analysis. Well, one medical doctor is going to teach you something about that, clinical management of rape and sexual assault on Wednesday. All right, let's go ahead. So here, I want to look at definitions and forms of GBV. What is the definition of GBV? All right, what is the scope? What are the causes? What are the dynamics of violent relationships? Myths and facts about GBV. Then GBV and multiple discrimination. Then health consequences of GBV. Right, so you can see that. Okay, let's go ahead. Now let's start first and first. GBV are definitions and forms of GBV. So let's look at this international definition. I want somebody in the class to read this for us. Somebody read it for us, then I will now explain. Let's move ahead. Let somebody volunteer to read it for us. Who is doing that? Hello?
Bilkisu should read for us. Bilkisu should read.
Anybody can read, anybody, don't worry. Anybody can read, don't worry. You two can read anyway. I think your voice is clear. You can go ahead, read it for us. Thank you, Mohammed.
No, my background is noisy. I'm at a conference. I suggest Bilkisu should read for us.
All right, who is going to read? Okay, you can see now, this is actually why we came with this program. In every context, most Africans don't volunteer. They are very passive. That's what we are trying to bring out of this. So I want somebody to read for us. Let somebody can read. You don't need to open your camera because of my network. I have to close my camera to have a better connection. So who is going to volunteer?
Can you hear me?
Bilkisu Abubakar is on the coach. She should read for us.
Somebody is reading already. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is Rebecca. Violence, international definition, violence against women. Any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering to women, including threats such as acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether occurring in public or in private life. This is UN Declaration on the Elimination of Violence Against Women, DVAW 1993. Gender-based violence. This is the violence that is directed against a woman because she is a woman or that affects women disproportionately. This is CEWA General Recommendation number 19, 1992. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Rebecca. That's a lovely one. Now, what I want to do for this class is look at the bolding words there. So physical, sexual, or psychological. So that these are the dimensions, that's the ramifications in which you can have. So it's not only when, look at what is going on in National Assembly now, Akpabio and Natasha. So what form of sexual violence is that from this classification? Which one can you say? Rebecca, can you tell us? So what's going on with Akpabio? So what Natasha says was that the Senate president told her, oh, take good care of me, I'll take good care of you. And she was not comfortable with that. She now told her husband, Senate president is harassing me. So from this one, physical, sexual, and psychological, where can we place the kind of harassment going on between the Senate president and Senator Natasha? Where can we put that? Let someone tell us. Hello?
It's psychological.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Excellent. Thank you for that. It's psychological. And that will tell you something about this Nigeria we are living, and that will tell you something about the Africa that we are living. And that's why somebody was telling me in that group that, why do you make the requirement for certification so complicated? Well, it has to be like that. We cannot solve the problem with the same mentality that created it. Okay, so we cannot run this program like normal courses you have in universities. Our focus here is the problem-solving orientation. So here, this woman will stand up to make a presentation about Ajaokuta power still. Then Akpabio will shut her down. At a point, she cannot bear it again. And Ajaokuta still rolling is for national development. That will tell you something about the mentality of average Nigerian. The same thing what you are saying is psychological. So it can even be body shape. If a man tells you, oh, you are too fat, you don't have bum, that's why some ladies, they went to do BBL, they want to have bum like that. So these are somebody body shaming you. Oh, maybe you have a boyfriend that usually complains that, oh, your bum is not showing enough. That's a GBV. It's giving psychological trauma because at that point, you cannot change your body. It's natural. So it can be psychological. So Natasha at the moment, she's passing through a psychological trauma. The lady was saying that he was in Akpabio's house in the 1 December, and the man was telling her that, look, come here one day, you come and have a nice time with me. I understand that Natasha could be a kind of wayward woman. Well, no problem with that. But she might have changed her ways and said, okay, wait, I want to stay with this man for the rest of my life. And as such, I'm not going to entertain any man again in my life. And this woman, she's making her position. And Akpabio was like, oh, no. But that's just to let you understand that GBV can manifest either physical, sexual, or psychological. The same thing you have in university, sex for mark. If you don't come and see me, you will not pass your exam. Come and see my hotel room. This is what we have. It's psychological. It will disarm you. It will make you feel less than human. That's what we're talking about. So now, another one is that another thing is that somebody comes to this and say, hey, what about gender-based violence against men? That when you say GBV, we only talk about men, women. And I said that, look, this is a men's word. Everybody knows that it's a men's word. So we know that some men also experience gender-based violence in some ramifications. However, it is not as rampant as what women are facing. Women are, let me call it now, I want to use biblical quotes, they are weaker vessels. So they are facing a lot of things psychologically, which they are coping with. And we now come again and feel that, oh, they are going to fight with the woman and all that. So ladies should be treated with care, respect, and all that. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, let's only do for words again. All that information. Let's only sell for it for words again. Who's reading? Who is reading?
Sorry, what are we reading? Because my blank is screen. It's still saying Afrocentric.
Just pinch on your screen and expand it. Just pinch on your screen and just to make the class interactive. So you can pinch your screen, then you expand it. Who is going to read? Many people are on this call. Maybe about 18 or something, of course. Anybody can volunteer to read. We just want to make it more interactive. Right. So who is going to read for us? Can you see my screen? Okay.
No.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. What about now? Is it showing now?
I don't know if I'm the only one having this issue, but it's not showing. It's still telling me screen sharing.
Okay.
Yes, same here. It's still saying screen sharing.
Okay, wait, let me come back. Okay, wait. All right, let me stop. Okay, I will reshare it. Don't worry. I will share. I don't know. It's malfunctions. Let me share it again. All right, what about this? So anytime.
Okay.
Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Anytime you are not seeing the screen, just let me know because this is the back end. You are the front end. Yeah, read for us.
International definitions 2. Violence against women is a manifestation of the historical unequal power relations between men and women, which have led to domination over and discrimination against women by men. One of the crucial social mechanisms by which women are forced into, that's definition 2, violence against women is one of the crucial social mechanisms by which women are forced into a subordinate position compared with men. Third one, violence against women is, constitutes a violation of human rights and a form of discrimination against women.
All right, thank you very much. So basically, now this one is very clear anyway. And anytime you hear about gender-based violence, the first thing you should ask yourself, who has the much power? Who has the lower power? So the currency of GBV is power. Senate President has the power to recognize who moves the motion on the floor of National Assembly. Are you getting it now? If the Senate President doesn't recognize you, you cannot speak. That's the power share the man has, right? A lecturer who is going to mark your scripts has that power. So basically, husband and wife, the man is providing for the house and the woman is not providing much. That is power relationship. Are we clear with that? Hello, are we clear with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we clear with that?
Yes.
Okay, let me now ask a question now. In a relationship where the man is providing 90% of the whole house needs financially, and the woman is contributing 10%. In another household, the man is contributing 60%. The man contributes 60%, the wife contributes 40%. Which one is likely to have GBV issues? The surface. That was the financial power.
Where the woman is contributing 10%.
Correct. You see now. Thank you very much. We are getting it now. So that's why we are giving Afrocentric perspective. When a white man comes here to Africa to come and teach you about GBV, they will not tell you that in their own country, women are financially empowered. They will not tell you that. But in Africa, here in Nigeria, our women are basically disempowered by the government, by everybody. Even if you want to make million, she needs to take permission for her husband to take a lucrative job. Let me give a story. A friend of mine schooled in France, and he has a French girlfriend, a white girl. And the girl now said, okay, let's go on a trip to Qatar and spend 2 weeks. And my friend was like, Qatar. I don't want to I'm a student here. The girl was saying, go to bank, go and borrow money, and let's go and enjoy ourselves. The girl said she will borrow money from the bank. So what I'm telling that in overseas, in abroad, Western country, a girl can go to bank, borrow money, and go on holiday. But here in Africa, a girl that wants to enjoy her life, cruise, she needs to have a Yahoo boy or politician. Are you getting it now? Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Are you getting it? So,
Yes.
Yes.
A girl too, when I was a Unimate, I was in Unimate 2023, I saw some girls who actually going into sex for food. Sex for food. There is a popular club there, they call it Staff. Yeah, was it on Air Force Club in OGRA? The new GRA. Now, what happened is that some girls are in school, their parents are poor, but they understand that education can transform your life. So they got to university. Now they are broke on campus. Mom is not sending money. What can she do? What can she do? A broke girl from a poor family. What can she do? Let somebody contribute to that. What can she do? Hello? What can she do? What are the options for her? Hello, I'm waiting. People should talk now. What are the options for a broke girl on campus? She's broke and her parents are not sending money. She needs to do a lot of things on campus and no money. What can she do? What are the options? There are many options, not one.
Probably start up a small business.
What can she do?
Look for a job to do.
In Maiduguri there, which job?
There are, in Maiduguri, I schooled in Maiduguri. There are houses you can go clean or even run some errands for them just to make up some money and start up.
Where is that? Where will she work? No, relax. We are learning here. What can she do? Now explain. Where will he get the job?
She could seek for jobs to do, such as cleaning houses within the staff quarters. You can always walk up to lecturers' schools to find out what can you do. You're looking for a job to do. They can always offer you, okay, come to the office. You will do cleaning in my office twice a week so you can earn some stipends. Or, okay, you can come to my house, do some cleaning, and you can earn a stipend.
All right, thank you. That's lovely. But again, that's a very low level of thinking for an university graduate. And that is why I say our education is not even helping us.
Did you say a graduate? I thought you said she's in school.
Yes.
Trying to earn.
Wait, I'm coming. When I was in school, I never do cleaning job. We should train our university students to be problem solvers. That kind of cleaning of houses should be for secondary school or sub-primary school graduates who have nowhere to go. When university graduates are thinking of cleaning job, it means that our education system is even corrupted. You should not be thinking of that. You should be thinking of, I'm a university graduate. What can I do with my brain? That's the strength he has. He passed through JAM. He passed through WAEC. Do you know what it means to get to university admission? So for every person who gets there, about 10 people, they missed out. Every year in Nigeria, 1.4 million people write JAM. Those who get admitted, about 300,000. Just check on internet now. Let somebody just check on internet. Their total admission per year. So it means that if you're a university undergraduate, you are thinking of doing a cleaning job, you are not doing well. And let me now tell you, you can ask, what can undergraduates do? A lot of things. Most of them have what? iPhone or smartphone. See what you can sell online or content creation. That was one of the reasons somebody was telling me that why do you have to teach them all these skills? Why in this class, some people are okay, the journey certificate, but some people actually need something more than this. On your Canva, last batch, a lady, she's a nurse. She learned Canva, but I'll speak to you now. I'll bring her on the graduation day. She has monetized this Canva skill. She's making money by the side from it. So most of these girls you see on campus, they are just skillless and they have this dependency logic, looking for NGO guys to fund their expenses. So that is not going to help us. So that I'm saying, so university system instead is not helping us. Once you can get to university, your mode of thinking should change from looking for menial jobs. Say, okay, undergraduate, what can I do? What are you studying? If I'm studying sociology, create a social media platform. Start blogging. That's content creation. If you go live on TikTok, they are paying people on TikTok page. Go and check it. Check it out. But they carry, I know a girl who has a smartphone, but is still doing hookup. So that's what we are saying, that our education is a disempowering educational system. And that is why we are saying that here. So I'm linking that to this definition and say that power relationship. So when a white person comes to Africa to come and hear about GBV, they are so naive that they don't understand our context. They assume that our girls and daughters and sisters, they are financially strong. No, the system gives them no power. In overseas, a girl can go to university and complete by getting student loan. But here in Africa, nothing like that. Your daddy and mommy will carry the burden of sending to school unless you have one uncle somewhere. I know many girls who fly from Maiduguri to Abuja. And that's what we are trying to stop here. That if you are talking about GBV, strengthening financial position of a girl. Okay, let me give an instance now. If a girl, I'm telling from a guy's perspective, a girl comes to your house, send transport money to her, she came around, you bought her tantalizers, you spent 20,000 to get her to your house. If that guy refused to touch the girl and she left, what do you think his fellow guys will say? Let somebody answer that. Hello? Hello? Nobody's talking here.
They will say is how will I put it?
Say it anyhow.
That he's a fool.
Correct. That is the origin of GBV. Thank you, my sister.
Some will say that it's not a man.
Thank you. You are stupid. You said, let me give. Now, let me now come back. Okay, in a white man's country, if a girl wants to visit a guy, will the guy ask for transport money? Yes or no? Answer that question. Ask? You can Google it.
Yes, no.
No, she will not. It's African mentality. That's what I'm telling you, that if you understand GBV, don't understand GBV like a white person. You understand it natively in our context. Let me give an instance. I schooled in France some years back through scholarship. You can say, how do I afford it? Through scholarship. So I was on a date with a lady and we were there. I brought her my credit card. You know, they don't use debit card. That means even if you don't have money in your account, your bank account is preloaded with some maybe 200 euro or 500 euros. So even if you don't have anything in your account, there is a credit waiting for you, but the interest rate is higher anyways. So every ATM user in overseas, they have preloaded credit. Okay, me and this girl went on a cafe. I drew coffee and snacks, and I brought out my credit card. I want to pay for her. She said, don't pay for me. Olu, don't pay for me. I said, why? She said, she now brought her own credit card and paid for herself. Then I said, why? He said, if you pay for me, you are putting me under obligation of paying back. Yeah, how will she pay back? Do you see now? So, but in Africa, is an African for you. You and a girl went on a date and she's paying, and you have not, you can't pay for the girl. Then you are stupid, but you are not man enough. So these are the contexts we are looking at. So in Africa, If you take a girl, take a girl out, you buy for. In fact, the girl can even bring her friends. Say, my friend is coming with me. So you have to take one of my friends that are in Lagos. Invited a girl for a date. When they got there, the girl bought two of her friends, and my guy, all he has was like 30K. He was like, look, I cannot afford to feed all of you. So the hunger is here in Nigeria. But average white girl doesn't think like that because they are financially stranding. Their system stranding them. I told you, average girl there, they cannot be asking for urgent 2K. But average Nigerian girl, if you are broke, you are broke. Nobody's there for you. Go and borrow money, palm pay. They will start dragging you. But in their own space, every girl, if you are broke, there is credit card for you. You can actually borrow money as a student. All right. When I was there, I think I borrowed like 300,000 naira in Nigerian money as undergraduate without collateral. Where can you go and borrow money in Nigeria? So now this definition is very important for you to keep in mind. Is about power. The keyword here, look at it very well. Manifestation of historically unequal power relations. That's just keep it in mind. You forget everything about that. See, what are the main causes there? Power inequality. Power. Financial power, positional power. What this guy is using now, Akpabi, is using positional power. Your pastor in the church is using authoritative power. All right, is your pastor listening to him or somebody like that, or religious leader? This is the power there. There's the unequal power relations. But here in Africa, guys are likely to how do I say, to assault a lady who is financially unstable than a lady who is financially stable. So it means that most of the GBV training we had, they just gender against men, feminists, but they never thought of how do we strengthen African women to be financially stable, financially responsible, so that they can earn some respect and feel more dignified in the face of their husbands. All right, so let's go ahead. So now you now say, which led to the domination and discrimination against men by men. So if like, who are you? Who are you? What are you bringing to the table? So in Lagos, let me take you out. What are you bringing to the table? It's a common question here. What are you bringing to the table? So it's a common question. So most ladies, they get oppressed because now they don't have. So it could be social mechanism, as I told you. Then again, look at this one. Can you see subordinate position? Can you see that? So that thing you are reading there is biblically validated. They say, man, love your wife. Woman, submit yourself to your husband. So this subordinate position is actually religiously validated and culturally validated. So when a woman now says, no, I cannot subordinate myself to you, there's a conflict already. So here, if you're adopting that as a woman, you say, well, though I know me and my husband, we are partners, I'm not subordinate to him, but for peace to reign, I'll give him the opportunity to lead this relationship. All right, to be the lead. All right, let's go now. Yeah, let's go again. Let's go at other definitions. I hope you are getting it. Hello?
Yes, we're getting.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's that? I want somebody to read for us. Nobody's reading. Hello? Can somebody read, please?
Definition number 3. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, I can hear you.
Violence against women include 1. Violence occurring in the family, including battering, sexual abuse of female children in the household, dowry-related violence, marital rape, female genital mutilation, and other traditional practice harmful to women, non-spousal violence, and violence related to exploitation. 2. Violence occurring within the general community, including rape, sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and intimidation at work, in educational institutions and elsewhere, trafficking in women, and forced prostitution. 3. Violence perpetrated or condoned by the state wherever it occurs?
Thank you very much. So let me start with the last point. Violence condoned by the state. So let me put it to you, Nigerian government condone this violence against our women. They condone it. They condone it so much. And what do you mean by condone now? They don't strengthen our women so that they are not vulnerable, you know, the vulnerability of our ladies are not strengthened. So as long as they still have that vulnerability, it's going to happen. Look at this trafficking of women and forced prostitution. I interviewed a lady one day. She met a guy on the internet, on Facebook, and the guy promised her a job in Italy. The guy now, she's a Lagos babe. The guy now sent money to her to come to Kano. From Kano, they cross over to Agadex, going to Libya. When they go to Libya, you know, this guy will sleep with this girl and still send her house to go and make money for prostitution. Eventually, the girl got pregnant for the guy. And the guy was okay. Even though the girl was carrying his pregnancy, she forced the girl to go outside to go and work, this prostitution work. Eventually, the girl managed to escape and came back to Nigeria. Now, let me tell you something. Many Nigerians are like this. They say like, oh, somebody will carry me overseas, and that's trafficking in women. What makes an average girl who studied nursing, lady studying nursing as well, chatted me some days ago and said, I want to travel out. I said, travel out? Say, let's have a conversation. Then I asked her, who's going to fund your travel? She said, there's some company, they'll give you a job. When they give you a job, they'll pay your tickets. I said, come, you are playing with your destiny. Most of the time, they are human traffickers. What they do is that they will get to the destination country, mostly Arab countries, Qatar, Oman, and all that. Once they get you there, they will now, if some of them, if they don't turn the person to, forced prostitution, they can put the person in house, like house girl. When the salary be paid to the person who brought them there, the person will say, the money I spent to bring you to this country is 5 million naira. So your salary for the next 2 years, I'll be collecting it. So when you finish paying the money I spent to bring you to this country, then you gain your freedom. That's human trafficking. Are we clear with that? So it happens so much. Many girls, they feel like Nigeria is not working. Let me just try to travel out, but they don't have money. So you can see now. So let's go again. Look at this one. Violence occurring in general, including rape, sexual abuse, harassment, and intimidation. Look at Natasha again, which is the common one you can see here. Thank God that Natasha too has been dealing with men, politicians, and you can see she stood her ground. So I have my evidence against you, this speaker, this president. Now let's come again and look at it now. That question here I want to ask you. Violence occurring in the family, including battering. What is battering? That's beating. Sexual abuse of female children in the house, dowry-related violence, marital rape. So in Africa, is there marital rape? I want married women to talk about this. Is there marital rape in Africa, in African context? Can a man rape his wife under the Nigerian law? I'm waiting for response for lawyers or married women here. So this is a white man concept, marital rape. Is it valid in Nigerian context, or can we say a man can rape his wife? I'm waiting for response. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm the GBV Specialists. Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
a man can rape his wife.
Okay.
When a man forces himself on his wife without the consent of the wife, it is rape.
Okay. Are you a nurse? Are you married?
Yes, I'm married. I'm a midwife, sir.
So who wants to say something again about that again? Hello?
Okay, sir. My name is Gloria Yusuf. I'm a midwife. Hello?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay, in an instance where a woman just gave birth and then the husband forces himself on her, let's say just a week postpartum, and then
You said
it
what?
causes more
I didn't
injury.
get you very well.
Okay, in an instance where a woman just gave birth,
Just give birth.
yes, she just put to bed,
Yes.
and then she's not supposed to have sex at least till after 6 weeks. So if the man forces himself on her and causes much injury, that's marital abuse too.
Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm a midwife.
Okay, where do you see that definition?
Sir?
Where do you see that definition?
Oh, no, that's just based on what I experienced through work.
True work. So
Yes.
under Nigerian law, if a man forced himself over his wife when she just put to bed, that's constitute rape. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. Other contribution, please. Other contribution, please. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, please. I'm waiting. All right. Nobody can contribute again. Are we done with this?
No, I said in a situation where the woman or the wife is not in the mood.
It's not what?
Is not in the mood.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a mutual thing. You have to seek one's concept. You don't just force or bounce on her by fire by thunder. When she refuses, maybe you tie her and then take advantage of her. So it just falls when it is not willing, when it is not done willingly, it is called rape.
Okay, so a man
in
should take
other words,
permission from his wife.
I can also rape his wife.
He can also rape his wife. Okay, thank you. Are you married?
Yes. I'm married.
So the chairman will always take permission before he can start something.
Yes, yes. You know, it's a mutual thing. I have to be in the mood and cooperate. If I don't cooperate and you force me, maybe once it is by force, it is rape.
All right, thank you very much. But I put it to you, madam, under Nigerian law, traditional law Nigeria, a man cannot rape his wife. So that's what I was asking, that you have lawyers here. So under Nigerian law, a man cannot rape his wife unless he uses force. So in a relationship, like what I'm saying is that if a man and a woman, they are sharing the same bed together, and the man is on the move, he touches his wife, the man are just penetrated. We have a class like that. The woman say, when I see my husband, I will just smile. Right. So the point is that under African culture and civilization, so I'll take it back to that one. Under African culture and civilization, a woman should be ready for her husband anytime. That I'm telling you what.
Even if she's facing one challenge or the other.
Just relax. I'm
even if she's mourning.
Wait, madam, just relax. I'll disabuse your mind. In traditional African society, one of the reasons why people marry many wives is because of this issue you are raising now. She might not be available. Are you getting my point?
Okay.
She might not be available. As you said, you are right. She might not be available. But one man, one wife, is he African or African? Let someone answer that question. One man, one wife. Is he African or un-African? Is he part of our culture and civilization? Let someone answer that question.
It's un-African, un-African.
Yes. So, what I'm trying to bring you now is that under our own, forget this, thank God we are Muslims here. That's why they say marry many wives. Because they understand that you are right. If you have a single wife and she's not in the mood or she has any issues, no problem. Or she's put to bed, agreed. But under Nigeria, pre-colonial African society, a man cannot rape his wife. That's what I'm talking about. And let me now tell you, one of the things you guys have not gotten to understand here is that some of you have taken this Western civilization to another level. A man has sexual urges. You say, come and take permission before you browse. You say there is no network, you are not in the mood. Okay, the man will go out and have multiple girlfriends. Do you know former immigration Controller General died in Abuja some days ago with a girl. Do you know that?
Yes, I read it.
You read it.
Yes.
So by saying my husband take permission, you're actually pushing our men out because you over sabi. Over sabi, they worry you, our ladies.
But can't they have self-control?
They can do what?
Can't they control themselves?
You're not a man, you cannot feel what I'm feeling. So you know what the Bible says, that flee. Is a flee. So you people, let me tell you something. What is this life about? Let me say, what's life? We are here to do what? Two things we are here to do is in the I don't know, in the equivalent Bible version in the Holy Quran, or but what my Bible I know, our purpose on earth, in this earth, is to make sex and make money and enjoy. That's just it. And you know where down, if you check, let somebody check Genesis 1:28. You say, replenish the earth. Replenish, that's a command. Replenish the earth. And how do you replenish without having sex? It's not possible. Then who now replenish? We have to plant the seed, and you will carry the seed for 9 months. And that is what Elon Musk is doing. Say, come, we have to replenish the surface of the earth. And the Bible says again, replenish the earth and have dominion. Are you getting this now? I will still talk to my Muslim uncle. I'd like you to tell me whether we have something like that in the Holy Quran as well. So he said, it's not a religious class. Of course, if you say religious, thank you very much, Sarah too, Aruna. Thank you very much. It's part of what we are doing here. It's religious because it's part of our culture. Africans are basically religious people, and we believe in superstition. And that's what I'm talking about. If you take religion out of this GBV narrative, you will miss it. Because a white man defines GBV according to their context. European world, they've turned their churches to cinemas. They don't go to church again. And they are not even tolerating Islam in their territory. You understand? So in African context, you cannot discuss GBV outside religion or outside your culture. Thank you for saying that, for making that one clear now. Thank you for raising this one. It's not a religious class, but you cannot, Saratu Aruna says, religious class. It is not a religious class, but you can never discuss GBV without contextualizing it to our historical context, cultural context, and religious context. That's what I'm telling you. So, in religiously, the Bible says, submit yourself to your husband. But we understand that submission, again, some guys can take it to the extent of abusing that power. Right, that's what I'm talking about. So, and that's why we call this training Afrocentric. We are just going to give you African perspective to this GBV. That's why we are going to this level. So, the conclusion is that all of you that said that a man cannot can rape his wife, well, you are right. But in terms of Afrocentric perspective, a man cannot validly say that you have raped your wife. It's a matter of understanding. If you understand that you don't want your man to go outside and be looking for side chicks, make sure that you are always available. I know some men, even if their wives is always available for them, they still go outside. Right. What drives some men is part of greed. They are greedy. They want to have this of every woman. But some of them, because of the sex starved, they are being sex starved. Their wife usually disturbs, don't give them access. They does not give them free access to have it when they want to have it. Right. Okay, I need to make that clear now. So let's move very fast. It's already 4 o'clock now. So violence against women is gender-based. It does not occur to women randomly. So structural, you have mentioned the structure, so it's part of our religious values. Structural problem embedded in unequal gender power relationship. It's not equal. Unequal gender power relationship. A lady became vice chancellor of the University of Abuja. I think you know that. Look at how they were just attacking her, and she left that position now. So gender dimension, violence against men affects women and girls, right? And men and women experience it differently. Then women's survival face specific barrier in accessing services. All right, they do that one. So, any questions so far? Okay, so GBV is basically violation of women's human rights and a form of discrimination against women. Example of violated right to life, right to free from torture and human degrading. All right, before I go further now, I'm going to show you a story now. Let me read this story. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see it.
Let's someone
Yes, sir.
read this story for. Let's someone read this story. Let's someone read it. Let's someone read it before we go further. I'm waiting. Who is going to read for us?
Which one are we to read? Is it the Bauchi man arrested for
Yes. Yes. Read it for us. Read.
allegedly beating wife to death over Ramadan meal dispute?
What date? What date? Date.
The date is March 3rd.
Where I read now?
March 3rd.
Okay. Bauchi State Police Command. Read.
Am I correct?
Correct. Yes. Read now. There is a Bauchi State Police Command. Read that.
I'm not seeing it. Wait.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Bauchi State
Command
arrested a 50-year-old man, Alhaji Nuru Isiaq, allegedly beating his wife, Wasila Abdullah, 24, dispute over the handling of ingredients and food meant for breaking the Ramadan fast. The command spokesperson, yes, Ahmed Wakil, disclosed the statement yesterday that the incident occurred on Saturday, March 1st, at about 11:30 p.m. near Government Girls College in the Fadama Mada area of Bauchi. Wakil explained that the incident followed a misunderstanding between Easter is set to evolve. Sorry, you're moving with her alleged wife with a cane, causing her to collapse and according to the police, Wasila was rushed to the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital where she was pronounced dead. Wakil revealed that the suspect has been apprehended and that the cane allegedly used in the assault has been recovered as evidence. The police.
All right, thank you very much. You see now? Hello?
Are currently conducting a thorough investigation while they're deposited in. That's what I can see. That's all.
All right, thank you very much.
I can't see the rest, please.
You can't see the rest? I thought you are finished. Okay, let's see now. All right. Can you see the rest now? Can you see the rest? Hello? Can we see the rest? Hello, can you see the rest?
Yes, sir.
Have you finished reading it? All right. The police are currently conducting a thorough investigation while the deceased body has been deposited in mortuary for autopsy. This woman, today is a March 10, all right? This woman passed on Saturday, March 1. See now? Now, what I'm showing all this one to understand that, see, in African context, a man is domineering by nature. So you as a woman, if you are receiving training on GBV, you have to put your emotional intelligence into action. African man has that domineering tendencies. And you, a white man now teaches you, oh, gender equality, I'm going to my husband. Use your emotional intelligence. That's what I'm telling you. As I told you, this training our curriculum structure around 3 elements. I told you artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence, and problem solving. We're not just here to talk about it. We want to make you to be agent of change. So it means that, so I have a question to now ask you. How do we stop this man beating woman like this? How can we stop it? Let somebody answer that one for me. I need somebody to answer. Suggestion. How do we stop this thing? He has been arrested now. How do we stop this? Okay, open your mic and speak. Because a specialist is not somebody who romances the problem. It's a specialist, the person who suggests practical ways of solving problems. So many of you have taken GBV training in the past, but this one want to make it a special one for you to think, not just like a GBV focal person. No, a specialist is a person who understands the problem inside out. So I put it to you, this question of Bauchi man, another person, there are many of them anyway. What can we do to stop occurrences of a man like this, putting this masculine power on a woman? How can we stop it in Nigeria, for instance? So I need your suggestion before I go further. Suggestion, please. Hello?
I think we need to educate these people, create awareness, let them know that women have equal rights. They have rights to live, high rights to, you're not supposed to bully them, or they're not your slaves. Educate them. Most of them are not educated. They don't know. They are still having this African mentality.
Thank you very much. Are you a nurse? What do you do, Madam Goodness?
I'm a pharmacist.
Thank you very much. So you can see now, but let me now put to you now. Let me now tell you, what you are doing here different from your training from WHO, UNICEF training on gender-based violence. So WHO, UNICEF, they focus more on prosecution.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
They focus more on prosecution. Say, prosecute the bastard so that we not continue to do it again. But African solution says, educate the stupid mind. The mind is not properly educated. That this woman, she's not your slave. Even if she's your slave, a slave still has some fundamental human rights. We are all children of God. Right. It's not your goat. Even in America, you do know a dog in London has more human rights than our women in Africa here. Do you know that? Do you know that? This one, Natasha is doing with Akpabio in overseas. What could have happened? They will have asked Akpabio to step down. Now, they are not even now threatening the woman who accused somebody of harassing her. So it means that all of them in the house, they are not educated because the GBV education they receive is a Western model of GBV. So it doesn't align to their realities. It doesn't connect. You are learning GBV from a white man who doesn't go to church, who doesn't pray 5 times in a day. It's not going to work. So it means that this man, businessman that killed a girl of 24 years old, should be properly educated. That look, your wife can actually, some women we know, some women could be very overbearing. They can lock up the shirt or cloth on their husbands. We know that. But when a woman is behaving like that, what do? Educated mind. You walk away. You walk away. You walk away when a woman is behaving irrational. Women could be very emotional, call them, what's it called? Drama queens. You walk away. And you know, there is a quote that says that anybody that makes you angry has actually has exercised power over you. So that's, but in Africa, we have the wrong notion of power. We believe that power is bragging. Yes, I'm here, I'm the boss, yeah, I'm the boss here. So they have that, so we have to let, power is not like that. Power is about ability to make somebody do something they ordinarily they will not do. But here say, do you know who I am? Have you been hearing this story before from men? Who said that here much? Men or ladies? Who said that? Do you know who I am? Do you know who you are talking to? Who used to say something like that?
The men.
Eh?
The men.
Men. So
men. And again, sir, permit me to say this, please.
No, say it. It's an interactive class. That's why it's not recorded class. It's not. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
What's your name?
My
Where are you
own
joining
pass.
from? What's your profession? Tell us.
Right. By name is Luka Elisha from Gombe State.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm of the opinion that I think the mindset of most of these African men needs to be like reconfigured to some extent, if it's going to be possible. Perhaps by inculcating some of these things into our school curriculums, whereby
Continue. I'm hearing you. Hello. I'm not hearing you again. Oh. Hello, can you hear me? Nobody's talking again. Hello, can you hear
sir.
me?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Can you see my screen?
No. Yes, I can see, sir.
Yeah, continue.
So, sorry, sir. While I was speaking, the call
Okay, maybe
came in.
somebody else can join. Somebody else can continue anyway. Don't let us waste time. Okay, who want to talk again?
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Make it snappy. We still have more slides to cover, please.
All right, sir. What I was trying to say is that I think the mindset of the men, most of the African men, need to be like restructured, especially catching them young. It's got to do with curriculum activities at schools. So that the young ones that are coming up.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lucas. Thank you, Mr. Lucas. What can you do about those problems you mentioned now? Curriculum. What can you do about it? What can you do? I put it to you. What can you do?
Yeah, that is to let the younger ones know that beating
women. How do we get to those younger ones so that young man from the age of 5 or 7? What do we do? What can you yourself do like this? What can you do?
Can go to the schools and sensitize them.
That's what I was creating awareness, sensitization, letting them know that it is very, very wrong to beat a woman.
How will you do that? Wait, relax. How will you do that? Be very clear. What will you do? How will you do it? Just explain it to me.
You organize training, maybe a kind of sensitization. Then you tell these young ones that, look, things are coming up, and this is the consequence of it. So beating a woman is now an obsolete something. It's out of date. That is what I mean. When you gather these young ones together with the school authorities, gather them, let them understand that beating a woman.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you see my screen? Can you read what is on the screen for me? Can you read it? What is on the screen? Can you read it?
It's too tiny, sir.
Can you read it?
Yeah, I can see the screen actually, but it's too tiny.
It's too tiny. Who can read what is on the screen? Can somebody read what is on the screen? You can pinch your screen to read it. Can somebody? It's very important to read this one. Can somebody read it? Who can try?
Yes, sir. Begin in the minds of men.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Goodness, Carlo. The phrase, since war begins in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defense of peace must be constructed. It's from the full text of the UNESCO Charter. It emphasizes that war begins in the human mind. The phrase is also part of the Constitution of the United Nations.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Madam Goodness. Madam Goodness, thank you very much.
Organization.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Goodness. I love you articulate. Which state are you joining us from? You are from which state?
Lagos State.
Abajo, I can see from their fruit we shall know them. I can see you are very articulate in the class. Thank you so much. Okay, now the last speaker said something that is we have to educate the mind of these poorly educated boys. That's what I can do. They tell them, beat a woman to show that you are a man. It is wrong. In the 21st century, a civilized man doesn't beat a woman. Are we clear with that? Now, after the Second World War, they created many organizations. One of them is UN. One of them is UNESCO. UNESCO is to educate the mind of our boys so that they don't become violent. So basically, the solution to this thing, the man of 50 years old, his mind has been polluted since he was young, that women are meant to be beaten. So we have to train our boys that the worst a woman can do for you, that she will call you name, she will do everything. But remember that she's a woman, oh, never touch her, because she doesn't have the same muscular power that you have. Just teach the boy. So a woman is supposed to be cared for. If you are going somewhere, you want to enter a bus, open the door for her. I was in a program with my boss at that time. She's the CEO of my organization. Okay, Afrocentric Masterclass is my side business. I work with the West African Education Side. You must have seen it on my LinkedIn. So we went for a program, and you know we are coming board. I overtook her. I opened the gate. I just let. I said, Soji, you're not a gentleman. She's school in UK. You're not a gentleman. You're supposed to open the door for me. I say, I'm sorry, man. I'm a village African man. So in overseas, the women are meant to be pampered. They're like eggs. You don't treat them greatly. You say, sorry, ma, how can we do? So the woman was correcting me, say, you're not a gentleman, Soji. I felt so bad that day. You know, when your wife serves you food, what do you say? Thank you. You're the one that gave her the money to buy the food. But don't be like, I'm the landlord. Say, thank you for the food. My dear, thank you. That little thank you for serving you goes a long way. What I'm telling you is that most of the training you have been taking too far on GBV, they teach you to prosecute what's it called? Prosecute the perpetrator. They don't talk about educating the mind of future perpetrators. Are you getting the point now? As you are arresting one perpetrator, put in the prison, 20 perpetrators are coming in primary one. They're still waiting for you. Are you clear? So education is the solution. And this quote, you can write it down. That's why we are doing this training. And that's why this training, we make it free. Come and listen first. Your certification, if you like, do it. If you like, don't do it. If you think it's useful for you, fine. But here, we believe that any man that attends this program, we know is not likely to go and abuse a woman the other day, next time. Because we know that women are like eggs. They are meant to be pampered. And if somebody asks you why Africa remains underdeveloped, tell them that one of the reasons that we keep on relegating the power of women. And as long as we are relegating the power of women, we can never develop. It's like clapping with one hand. You can never go far. You can only clap with your two hands. But if you try to clap with one hand, you never go. Say, woman, sit down there, line. So that is my story now. So let's go back. We have to move very fast now. Any question before we go ahead?
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir.
Okay, wait. Somebody, wait. Before you go for that, Linda Ayuba, say advocate for policy. Who will implement the policy? Linda Ayuba, this mentality, you have to change it. That's what a Eurocentric GBV training teaches. A policy advocate. We are not raising advocates here. We don't call it. It's a reason why we don't call you a GBV advocate. No. Advocates will not help us. We want people who will fold their sleeves and go to the field. After this training, the reason why we taught you Canva, let me tell you straight now. The reason why we taught you Canva is to use that Canva, design a program, go to a primary school in your community, go to a secondary school, say, Madam, I just finished the training. I want to have a conversation with your students. Talk to social studies teachers. Social studies is a compulsory course for all these basic classes. Tell them you want to talk to their students. They will give you a chance. You can go to 10 schools. You don't need for international funds. So this was a advocate for policy. This is abstract. You see, Akpabio that is fighting another man's wife without formulate policy. Forget it. The future of Africa is in the hand of average Africans taking actions in their local communities. So if I were Linda Ayuba, I will use my Canva to design a program, take to the principal or primary school headmaster or headmistress, say, I want to talk to your boys from primary one. Tell them that girls are not meant to be beaten, and make it a law that on no occasion should a boy fight a girl in our school. If a boy has so muscle to fight, let him fight a fellow boy. Make it a law in schools. You don't need to, don't put, one of our problems that every Africa say, meet the professor. Federal government should do something. No government. We want to take local action. That's why I told you, your Canva making at scale, do it and send it to the principal or the headmaster. You don't need to buy them biscuits. You don't need to buy anything. But our NGO, they train you to say advocate. They will say advocacy visit to Senate President, advocacy visits. Nothing happens. So as the man said, catch them young, educate their minds. And this quote is from UNESCO. Since wars, so if I want to paraphrase, I say, since gender-based violence begins in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that defenses for stopping GBV should be constructed. That is it. All right, let's go ahead. We have to move very fast now. So, okay, well, these are the statistics. You can look at it now. So it's not only peculiar to Africa, but Africa own just too much. Our men are so oppressive, very oppressive. You need to date Senate president before you can move your motion. What a stupid country. People are getting job. Okay. So we said that 30% of women who ever lived in partner relationship experience physical or sexual violence by partner. Men make up to. Can you see my screen, everyone? Can you see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, let's go
We
ahead.
can see very clear.
All right, so these are the forms again. I've mentioned this already for you. Behavior by intimate partner, like your husband and all that. But our women here, I'm not teaching you to go and meet your husband. Use emotional intelligence to control your husband. That's what I'll tell you. Use emotional intelligence. In Nigerian politics, there is a lady who used so much power over her husband, and that's Miriam Babangida. So it was she never contended with her husband, but she used that power to remove one minister of foreign affairs. So a great woman is not a woman that is claiming that I'm equal to my husband. A great woman is like a woman who can influence her husband, right? Influence her husband to take decision. That's it. And a good example I can tell you is the story of Esther in the Bible. They were asking, king was saying, Esther, what do you want? Say, don't worry, my king, come. I'll tell you what I need. And then again, she made the request. So we don't need women that will be saying, I'm a feminist, I have equal rights. Everybody has their own power. Recognize that this is a men's world. You have your own right to everything, but let the man see the reason why he needs to treat you specially. Don't claim it. You earn your respect from the man. Don't claim, I deserve to be respected, I'm your wife. Don't claim all those words. But show him that, look, I respect your leadership of this house. At the same time, just carry me along so that we can be best. We can create a good society for our children and for ourselves. So we mentioned sexual violence, psychological, economic. I told you already, money. Money is another issue. So, okay, example of GBV in other countries, form of violence, bride kidnapping, they kidnap a girl, early child marriage. Okay, so how can we stop early child marriage in Nigeria, knowing that early child marriage leads to fistula complications? I need suggestion from you. I want to see your way of it should be problem solving oriented. All right. Hello.
Yes, can I attempt?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, although the issue of early child marriage is something that in the African context, in some religion or society, it is instituted. There is this stereotype. So to be addressed is to come up with laws that address those cultural misdemeanors. So I think it's only the law that can fight this aspect of early child marriage, because either advocacy or the local efforts, as we are pushing here, it will just go and face obstruction from religious angle and then cultural angle, especially if you come to this northern part of Nigeria. So I think it has a lot to do with the law. We have to push laws that institute a year where, okay, except a girl child reaches this age level, she shouldn't even be allowed to get married or something. And then it should.
What is the solution are you suggesting now? I'm not getting clearly. Hello?
Well, the rule of law doesn't stand. But I think
And what's the solution to stop early child marriage? Hello, sorry, it was my network. Can you hear me now? Sorry, it was my network. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was asking the question that, the question of, what's it called? The question of early child marriage. How do we solve it in Nigeria? And I don't know what somebody suggesting something. So one thing I need to tell you is that problem solving is about thinking about. Yes, go ahead. Who is that? Goodness. Go ahead. Anybody can speak. All right, go ahead.
I think it's.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
I'm hearing you, or your network is not stable. It's like your network is not stable. All right.
It is still going back.
Going back to what?
Go to the grassroots and educate them. Most of these, our fathers or these people in the village, they don't know. They believe that it has been during their forefathers, that they should just continue, that it has been, is a culture, is a way of doing things. We can still come and educate them, inform them. Most of them are not informed.
Okay,
because
Madam
when we
Goodness,
wait for
Madam
policy
Goodness,
and government.
sorry to interrupt you. Madam Goodness, go to the chat box, see a solution there. Go to the chat box. Are you a teacher, Madam Goodness?
Maybe I teach it too.
What is your occupation?
A pharmacist.
I mean, one of your talents is teaching. If you have not started, you can join us at Afrocentric. We can give you guest trainer position after this class. Let me know. Now, look at this person. This person said the solution I'm suggesting. I want you to analyze this solution. I told you our mode of teaching here is 3 aspects: artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence, and problem solving. He said, Mike Giwa said, stipulating laws that give a criterion on the age of a girl. Age a girl should be married off globally. So is there an achievable solution here? Under the Sharia law, so this question now, when you say law, under the Sharia law, how old should a girl be before she can get married? Our Muslim brothers and sisters, tell us, under the Sharia law. Hello?
Yeah, let me attempt that. I'm not a Muslim, but I think this problem is propounded in Islam and then some other cultures. Because, Islam is about imbibing the way of the Prophet. Now, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married Aisha at the age of 6.
Age of?
And began marital affairs at the age of 9. So I think to every Muslim, it's normal that you can be married at the age of 6 or thereabout. So you see, that's a problem. And it's okay according to religion. So how can that be addressed? We must have to stipulate a global law. I met that solution. I'm Maigwa.
But okay, thank you very much for this law. So that's actually, see, what you said here is valid. But what I'm telling you is that this world is complicated. No silver bullet. Goodness, can you please mute your mic? So no one silver bullet can solve the problem. There cannot be any global law. It's not possible. Let me tell you something about this one. Why we are having these terrorists or the fundamentalists is because white men want to impose their way of life on us. And there is a book called Clash of Civilizations. I will send something to you to read. We have to accept people, their own way of civilization. If a man marries a girl at 13, what are the issues there? One, she's likely to have fistula. Okay, this man wants to do that. And the family will say, I want to keep my daughter out so that this girl will not go and get pregnant and bring shame to my family. You can see now, it's a two-way. The family that is giving the girl out, they don't want this girl because she has attained puberty. She can get pregnant and disgrace the family. And the man who wants to marry this young girl too, the man is ready. Oh, this is a virgin girl I want to marry. It's fine. So our whole issue here is not to say child marriage is bad, is evil. No. Our problem, our issue should be as a specialist. Look at, okay, how do I, as a GBV specialist, ensure that this girl that want to marry this man at the age of 13 or 9 also live a fulfilled life? You know, a fulfilled life. She want to go to school. She want to have education. How can she do that? And I'll give a historical background. There was the former governor of Sokoto State, Shekil Abiyav. He married a girl from Egypt, 13 years. Now, that girl has a master's degree. So sometimes we are not following Western model without questioning them. So the question is, what is at stake? If a man of 50 say, I want to marry a girl of 13, but according to Islamic law, is allowed, is permitted, let them do it. But that's what is the consequence of marrying a girl of at 13? Okay, it will deny the girl for living a full potential life. She might not be able to have education, exposure, and enjoy life. Okay, what can we do? Okay, now tell the man, this guy is getting married to you. However, let her attain age of 18 before you get her pregnant. You can have that negotiation so that she will not be exposed to fistula. You get. So as much as possible, our content here, we are trying to make sure that you have a robust understanding that what's it called? We are not just actually saying what a white man tells you, just bring it, cut and paste. We have to actually domesticate and contextualize global solutions. Okay, let's move quickly. We go to other part now. All right, we've done this already. Let's go ahead. Causes of GBV, we mentioned that again. By combination of factors, look at this now. Individual relationship, yes. Okay, all right. So
Nah, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna make about kita kakana na mwana mtai tare. Ubia lobop kakai banggal wetu. Dia lobop.
all right, give me some moments, I'll be back. Okay, let's continue. Do you have any questions? All right, let somebody read this ecological framework for us. Let somebody read this. This actually summarizes what I've been saying so far. Community level and societal level. Let somebody summarize, read it for us. Right? Okay. Who is reading?
Okay, community level.
Go ahead.
Okay, community level. Social relationship in schools, workplace, and neighborhood. Where societies with community sanction against violence have the lowest level of IPV and SV. Poverty, rather, sorry, I'm not seeing clearly. Poverty, rather a marker than a factor increasing risks as such. Can I continue?
Read everything for us.
Okay, society level factors. Cultural and social norms that shape gender roles. 1. Higher IPV when men have economic and decision-making powers in the household. 2. Ideologies of male sexual entitlement. 3. Social breakdown from conflicts or disasters. That's all. Domestic violence. Understanding the dynamic of violent relationships. Hello.
Right, don't worry. I'm going to invite somebody here who's an expert in domestic violence. She's going to take over.
Okay.
So she's there. Aja Rukaya, are you ready? Hello?
Yes.
Are you ready? Okay, let me make a co-host so you can share your screen. You can share your screen.
Okay.
So you take it now. Then once you are done with your slide, then I'll wrap up the class. All right.
Okay.
I've made a co-host so you can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Let me give a background. Hello, before you go, let me give a background. Sorry, madam. Let me read about you so that they get to know you. I've introduced myself to the group already. All
okay.
Right?
Can I be sharing? Let me be sharing my stuff.
Okay. You can do that. All right. Ajia Rukaya Oraji, she's a public health professional whose area of interest are intimate partner violence, mental health, substance abuse, and women reproductive health. She has a first degree in biochemistry, a master's in public health. At the moment, she's writing a PhD in public health. She's a trained GBV specialist from Institute of Human Virology of Nigeria, Red Cross and Afrocentric Masterclass. She has involved in many humanitarian work, especially on gender-based violence, mental health, and substance abuse. She's currently volunteer health coordinator of Nigeria Kuje in Abuja. She's a leader of Nigeria Red Cross Mothers Club Kuje division and a member of International Society of Substance Use Professionals.
No, not this one.
Institute of Public Analysts of Nigeria. All right. She's also a member of Occupational Health and Safety Association. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our expert in intimate partner violence. All right. You can go ahead, madam. Hello. Can you share your screen now? Hello, madam. Hello. I think she's having network issue. Hello, can you hear me? She's having network issue. All right. Give me some moments.
Yes, I can. Just a moment. I'm sharing my slide.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to share it for you here? Can I help you to share it?
Yes, please share it for me.
Okay, give me a moment. I'm sorry. Let's see. Can continue while I share the slide. You can give it continue.
Okay then. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for the network issue. So while we wait for him to share the slide, my name is Rukaya. All right. Professional, just like he has mentioned, you to IPV. Hello. Oh, so
Yeah, you're right on.
intimate part violence is a form of GBV, which is a partnership where one partner controls the other or try to harm the other, which is critically involve two persons. IPV involve two persons in a relationship, in a romantic relationship. Okay, thank you, Mr. Soji. So now, okay, next slide, please. Next slide. So intimate partner violence is a pattern of behavior, like I said, whereby one person is seeking control over the other. It affects everybody. IPV is a form of physical. It can come in a form of physical. It can come in psychological, emotional, economical, digital, and sexual. So when we talk about physical IPV, form of IPV, it's when two persons in a relationship, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, husband and wife, they have arguments, they hit themselves, slapping, punching, kicking, and any other form of violence that will cause a physical harm, an injury, or a bruises, a physical harm. While emotional type of IPV and psychological IPV is threat, humiliation. You know, often you see spouses, they insult themselves. Sometimes husband will be telling the wife that your shape is no longer okay. After many children, you are fat. You know, it makes the woman to always think low of herself. Although in some cases, it happens to men too, where it will be the woman that will be the abuser too, that will telling the man that you have pot belly, you can't last on bed, you know, the normal 2 minute men and stuff. So we also have a sexual abuse. On IPV, you'll be surprised that why would people who are married be talking about sexual abuse? Yes, because sexual abuse in IPV is the forcing a partner for sexual intercourse against his or her will. Okay, you don't even bother about the emotional thing from work, but the person said, I want sex. Those are sexual abuse. Or some women just give birth, after just few weeks, their husband said, I want sex. So those are abuse on type of IPV now. It's not a now, but it's a sexual IPV. We also have economical IPV. On this type now, there is a control of income. You see a husband like, I don't want you to work. I has to resign. I don't want the wife to be financially independent. Have to make them to depend on them. When you don't depend on someone fully, right, a voice to yourself. Some men, mostly now, men usually use this economic abuse on the IPV because they are most of the argument. Then the digital abuse is so common now in this 21st century, where you see people with cloning. They'll clone their husband's WhatsApp. Husband will clone their wife's WhatsApp. They want to know who we are talking to. Before you know it, most time this digital abuse started with digital abuse and gave rise to physical abuse. So monitoring, controlling who you chat with, what you do on social media, phones. Next slide, please. So then we now have neglect type of abuse. On neglect now, whereby the woman is being neglected, the basic need. You see a woman is in marriage, is in a relationship, but there is no support. She's taking care of herself, or abandonment, neglect and abandonment. My husband has followed side chick. I'm alone at home taking care of my children. So this is a type of abuse too, and it's called neglect. Please, Mr. Soji, next slide. Next slide, please. Hello? Can you people hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you, ma.
Okay, I think please next slide, Mr. Soji, if you can hear me. But if you cannot hear me, I'll continue. So the next slide is on prevalence of IPV. So I want you to ask any question you want to ask on the type of IPV before I continue to prevalence. So now, if there is no question, can I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay, then. Now we know prevalence of IPV. Prevalence of IPV means that who are those that the IPV really affects most? And IPV, we're talking about two persons in a romantic relationship. It's different than someone come that GBV and molested. Sexual harassment is quite different. So in this case now, it's involved two people in a romantic relationship. And it's so technical. According to WHO, global statistic, the WHO said that 1 in 3 women worldwide has experienced IPV in their lifetime. Although IPV also affects men, women are more affected. And children who witnessed IPV while they are growing up, they witness their family is having always arguing. There's so many either physical, emotional, neglect, abandonment, digital. Those children grow up and have a higher risk of experiencing IPV, either as a victim or as a perpetrator. You understand why the children, you see a child who the father always beat the mother, is going to grow up like thinking is a normal. I've had a client I'm counseling. This guy is a man. This man said he grew up with his grandparent, and the grandfather is a farmer and is a chief. So he beat the wives like a child. Like when one of his wife did something wrong, he's going to beat the woman like a child. So this guy grew up thinking women are commodity. There's someone you can beat, and correct. So when he now got married, he hit the wife the first day. So the wife reported him to the church elder and they counseled him. So he now realized that he needed a therapy. So he approached me. So now his brain has been accustomed to know that when a woman did something wrong, you have to beat the woman to correct her. Not knowing that a woman is your partner, your wife is your partner, you don't need to do that. You need to sit down and talk about it. So now the children who witnesses, so he is now the children who witnessed it while he was growing up now. So you see now is affecting him, what they call a PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. His brain is now alert to know that I have to beat a wife to correct her. So we now have the patterns of IPV, the cycle, how it occurs, and how you can detect that, okay, this person, that the client that come now is experiencing an IPV, and how you can explain to him or her and guide the person. So please, next slide. IPV normally come in four phases. In 4 phases. No, the previous slide. IPV come in 4 phases. So you can see in this diagram now, okay, the first one now and the last one, all this now, who can measure the type of IPV? Hello?
Yes, we're with you, ma. I think the last one is digital.
Good.
Yeah, and the first one should be emotional, denying intimacy.
Okay.
And the third one is physical.
Okay.
I think the second one is just an outcome, although it's a mind.
Okay, so in the first one now, the first one down here, you can see that the man is raising his hand to hit the woman. This is not really a physical. It can be, he was threatening her, so she's humiliating. Already she's trying to hide. And the children are there watching. The children are scared of the outcome that will happen. And it looks like this is what they see all the time. They are used to it. So now, this one now is a physical violence, which can also be an psychological violence, because the psychological effect now is on the wife. Immediately he raised his hand, the wife is already trying to dodge, which shows that it's not a first time, it's a repetitive phase. Then, and the second one means the lady is so sad while the husband is on the bed. It shows that they were having some maybe sexual disagreement, or the man forcefully coerced her into sex and she's not happy because she's looking traumatized. Then the third one now is a physical abuse. But in the other way around now is the woman that physically assaulted the man, not the man that physically assaulted the woman. So then the last one now is an example of digital violence, which I could say that 80% of everybody here is guilty of it. When you have a partner, you want to know what they are doing on their phone. Even if you are cooking, you want to stretch your neck to the dining to see what your husband or your wife is doing with their phone. So those are the type of intimate partner violence, which can result to a lot of things. In 2018, there was a woman that stabbed her husband, Mariam Sanda, in an argument. So it started with digital, who chats you, who didn't chat you, and it now turned to physical, it led to physical. So in that form of abuse, the woman was controlled by substance, but the man is dead. So at the end of the day, the woman is currently still in the custody, serving her jail time. So you see, when you are under anger, not going to feel like it's your wife, it's your husband. The law will take its course on you. So next slide, please. The circle of intimate partner violence. The first circle is tension building. We have tension building phase. Please, next slide. The tension building phase is when the abuse is trying to start. You see, in a relationship, even marriage or from any romantic relationship, some people will feel like my boyfriend said I should not wear trousers. My husband said have friends. I delete all my friends' number. In that phase, the tension is building, and the other partner is trying to, maintain, let there be peace. So the victim may try to please the abuser to avoid escalation. I'll just do it. My wife said I should not come home later than 6, so let me just do it. But it's not going to stop there. It's going to go to the second phase, where the incident of abuse. The second phase is incident of abuse. In this second phase now, the abuse happened. You receive your first slap ever. What? Your husband slapped you? Or your wife, he hold my shirt and she hold my shirt today. So, but this incident phase is usually brief. After the punching, after the verbal, whatever that happened, then the abuser will come back and said, I'm sorry. That's why you see, you have a sister who is married or is in a relationship, will report her boyfriend to you, her husband to you, they'll report their wives to you. Then when you now even want to try to come and make it up, like, let me settle them, they'll tell you that, no, we settled ourselves. He has asked for forgiveness and I've forgiven him. So now, after asking for forgiveness now, that is the honeymoon phase. Is a temporary honeymoon. Now everything goes back to normal. Some of the women, you see that my husband buy me a new wig, a new hair, a new phone, just to, apologize for what he did wrong. But the truth is not going to end there. Then that's the reconciliation stage. The third phase now, everything goes back to normal, even more than normal. Everything is okay. They are having a nice time. Please, next slide. Yes, so the reconciliation stage, that's the third stage. Everybody is okay now, no more problem. You even want to go and visit them. The wife will say, please don't ask my husband because we are okay now, no problem. Then the calm phase, that is the real honeymoon phase. This honeymoon phase usually don't really last long. There is a peace in the house, but all of a sudden, there's a relapse. The relapse will come just like if you are treating a mental illness, if they stop their drug and the relapse come, the relapse is going to be more than the crisis they have in the first time. So in this relapse state now, the calm phase, after some time, the tension phase come back again. After 1 year, they have been fine. And all of a sudden, they started checking their phones again, started saying, who is this? Who did you talk to? The next thing, punching has started. So this phase goes on and on and on, except if they have the right counseling and therapy. In each relapse, the crisis gets tougher. And for each relapse to come, it's now closer. If they used to have an argument like 3 to 6 months before, now they'll be having it like every 2 months, every 1 month, before it now becomes a daily routine. Please ask your question before we move ahead. I really want a question. I like Mr. Soji will always tell, we are not into banking and education. We are experiential. It's something you share your knowledge, you share your experience, and we discuss it together. Hello, I'm waiting for a question. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, well,
Yes, I need question. I've gone far and I'm
right.
expecting
So
a question.
let's say before the tension building phase.
Yes.
Are you with me? Okay,
Yes, I
what
am.
if there were factors that actually necessitated maybe the bringing in of the don't do this, don't do that? Maybe, okay, let's take for example, in a family,
Yeah.
the wife is making her husband feel insecure, maybe with the friends she keeps on, okay, he's seen a potential danger, a potential threat. Doesn't that also amount to a level of IPV? And then what if it's those insecurities that actually resulted in the tension building phase? How can that be addressed? And isn't that a form of IPV?
Yes, exactly. That's what we call the risk factors. What really can bring IPV? First of all, that's why when a woman, I'm trying to tell you now that when you are dealing with IPV, you are empathetic, not sympathetic, because it can happen that you see that man's head was broken. But if you dig deeper, you might see the woman might be crying, but you don't know that she's actually what the problem in that IPV. So when you're counseling, when someone tell you, first of all, a client used to come and tell me, my husband beats me all the time. I'm tired of this marriage. The first thing is you tell the client, okay, calm down. I can understand. You know, you're assuring her now that, yeah, you know how she feel. Then you're not going to ask her, what usually make this thing start? What usually escalate it? Is it after you go and visit friends? Is it when you close? Is it when you are pressing phone and you are not cooking? Or is it when the dinner is not ready by 6? You know, she's going to tell you because you already believe her now that you understand how she's feeling. That yes, men has come. Yes, some of my clients will call me and tell me that my men has come. I hate men. I'm like, yeah, men has come. Calm down. Let's talk. So when you are counseling her now, or him, whoever bring it, you are going to put yourself in their position first, make them trust you, that you believe them and you understand how they feel. Then you start throwing in your own question to know what is it for you to counsel them against it. Okay, why do you know your husband always shout at you? He said when he saw me with phone. Already you know that means that phone is taking her time and she's not taking her wifey and motherhood responsibilities seriously. So some men will tell you that my wife is over demanding. I have a case last month that a client, a woman called and tell me that her husband, she's having a petty trading and her husband is always borrowing money from it and the money has reached 5,000. So he now wanted to collect the money that day when he saw money with the man. And the man said, no, that money is for his transport. So they fought. He taught the man's claw, they fought, they really went physical and she was 8 months pregnant. So what I now ask is, oh, I can understand how you feel. Now, do you really think he has the money to give you? He said yes. So at the end of the day, when I go through the issue and find facts from what she's saying, I talk to her differently, I talk to the husband differently. I come into conclusion that this woman doesn't even know how the man's earn, how much he earn. He doesn't know that the man is struggling every day to make sure they don't laugh. So, you know, there's a misconception in many families that could cause IPV. Are you with me?
Hi, Dom.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, any other question? Okay, if there is not any other question, I will go on. Then we now have a risk factors. Please, okay, you know, on this, let me go on this photograph. You said this IPV happened last month. If you're familiar with the social media, you will see this picture. In this one now, the circle has been repeating. It has been repeatedly, but the woman still stay behind. It's very hard to leave an IPV, to go leave your abuser, because at the time your abuser become part of you, that you are now an enabler. If someone talk about your abuser, you even defend the abuser. So in this lady's case, the IPV is a repetitive circle. They said, someone should read it, please. Hello, if you can see this slide, please kindly read.
Success friend will also talk to our reporter.
Yes.
Say most of all their friends, including hers, want Success not to marry Kelvin because he's of kind of lavish bubblant character, and then also they advise her to quit the marriage after they notice say the domestic violence can increase after their marriage, but Success refuse to listen to their advice.
Okay, thank you. So, you know what happened that you see Success was actually on that phase now. The honeymoon phase will keep coming. Success will keep forgiving the guy. You still stay because he's going to beg you back. It's like a narcissist. They'll come back and beg you, and you still stay. So that was what she was going through, keep going through, until this her husband killed her. So next slide, please. The next slide now is risk factor of IPV. Please, you jump on. I think you risk factor of IPV. You jump a slide. Gender and social norm. Gender and social norm. Like in the gender, being a woman, open you to IPV. You can actually be into an intimate partner violence very well because you are a woman. One, our culture, social norm said we should always respect and submit to our husband. So in this aspect, everything you are saying you feel is normal, you have to keep submitting to him. And also in some parts of the country, like the northern part of the country, for example, where everything is based on religion. The religious law is more, effective than the legal law. So you cannot even go and tell your parent that my husband asked me to quit my job. Some family will say, yes, it's your husband, you have to quit your job. So that's how the social norms and gender affect IPV. Then previous exposure to violence. Like that man that was exposed to violence when he was younger, he grew up to know that that is how it is, until he undergone a therapy and he's trying to, have a new way that this is not how to live. And substance use. Substance use can influence and start any form of violence. When one partner is taking substance, this substance stimulates the brain. They get angry easily, or they get agitated. So it always instigate fight. You see, some people said after he's drunk, he beats me up. After he smokes, he beats me up. Vice versa. In the case of Mariam Sanda, the case was known that she is into substance. So it makes her to get agitated and able to take a knife. It has happened to me before. While I was an undergraduate, I was sick. I was having so much colic pain. So they put me on tramadol. So the first day I took this tramadol, I was super energized. I walked, I did a lot of stuff, and I entered the campus. I trekked places that on a norm I would just take a taxi. I trekked, and I have this high palpitation. I was eager to do something. So when I went to the ATM machine, I met a very big, huge guy standing, and he came to stand on my line. Instead of me to politely ask him that I was here before, instead I jack him up. I was ready to fight him. Well, this is something that is like Goliath and whatever. Like, I'm so very tiny to this guy to fight him, but I was under influence of drug. So until when the drug expired from my system, I realized that what I did was very bad. Then economic stress. Some couples start having violence after one of them lost their job. And, in this economic that people can no longer, meet up with their family need. They get agitated, they start beating their wife. I've seen a scenario where a wife said that her husband started beating her. When does it start? He said just after he lost his job. So this economic stress affect the mental health, and it's affect the mental health and make people to go beyond. Little thing that doesn't bring fight before can actually escalate a very big fight. And most time is their spouses that are at the receiving end. So when you have a client that you are suspecting that this is an intimate partner violence, you house that your mother has never hold the shirt of your father, it's going to be like a taboo for you to do that. So, but if you grow in an environment where you see people bash themselves, all the time, there's tendency that you're going to continue with it. Then intervention and prevention of IPV, education and awareness. Making awareness. When you talk about GBV, you include IPV, because IPV is an important form of GBV, which is underreported because people thought it's a personal issue. But when you go to the internet now, you see that for some years now, intimate partner violence is on the rise, and it's keep going to be on the rise, except we have much awareness and know how to handle the intimate partner violence, counseling, and safe place. Some people are in an intimate partner violence, but people keep telling them, leave this marriage. But it's not easy to leave. One, before you talk of leaving any of the relationship, you need to know that, yes, I'm being violated. And after knowing that you are being violated, you know that you have a safe place to go. And most of the families in the Nigeria, when they got married, the woman is not known in her father's house again. They've dashed you out to that man. So sometimes they don't even have who to report to. There's a client that called me a few months ago. In her own case, she is a graduate. She is married, but her husband is one receiving her alert. Her husband collects her phone, and after marriage, husband collects her phone and give her another phone with a new SIM. So the husband receive all her call, receive her salary. All what he does is, you want food, drop money for feeding. You want anything, dresses, makeup, drop the money. But she doesn't have control on her own salary, which is a type of abuse. But she doesn't even know what to do, because calling her family, they were like, yes, he's your husband, you have to submit. But mentally, it's draining her. So we should look for supportive communities, NGOs that have their objective on intimate partner violence. You should take it seriously, focus group discussion among the community women. I intervene in a community in the FCT where the activity we did there was to give them an interviewer questionnaire. We interviewed them, and some women said, my husband beats me because he's a bricklayer and he has not been seeing job. So all the time when he comes home and there was no food, he bashed me, he beats me. The man said, on the other hand, that he's misbehaving. My wife started misbehaving and stuff. So we now look at it that how we can intervene on this is to make them self-employed, to give them skill. So at the end of the day, we gave some money for the woman. We trained her on some businesses, making of awara, something that can make her, a bit independent. And the man too, what we gave him is something that is she can be doing and make money. So those are part of the intervention that is okay. And the legal reform and advocacies and helping them to fight, know their rights. So people are abandoned, they got pregnant, abandoned, and they are really living, they want to be out of that relationship of their abuser, but they don't have someone to fight for them. They cannot have a lawyer. That's why it's always advisable that having an NGO or an advocacy of gender-based violence and the IPV, it's very important that there are lawyers in the midst of health workers, because is a combined work. The health workers does their own, and the law guide them to the right way to get justice. So do you have any question, or do you have any experience you love to share?
Ma, please, I don't know, can you just help explain this bystander intervention again?
Okay, the bystander intervention is to have a standing order available, like shelter. If you are an entity like an NGO that is dealing with the IPV, the first thing to have is a safe place, shelter, skill acquisition, something steady that you can empower that person. Because most time, IPV is always about economy. Okay, if I leave this abuser now, he pays my school fees, he sends money to my parents, how will I cope? And where will I stay? Who will accommodate me? I have a child. So the best thing to do is have those safe places available, like shelter, like a skill acquisition center, something you can put them in. Are you okay with that?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, I want more questions. It's a discussion class. We interact together, your experience. Most time I am a leader of Mothers Club. I've practically listened to all their problem, have focus group discussion. Some women are going through a lot in that relationship, in that marriage. They want to leave. But by the time they come, they talk about it. They share it. They just know that it's a trick to make this relationship work. It's just a little trick,
All right, thank you very much. Let's appreciate her. Go to your comments box and give her your best emoji to appreciate her. Then I'll invite somebody to give a vote of thanks on behalf of the class. Do you have any question? So let's quickly appreciate her in the comment box now. I will ask Mrs. Esther, your camera is on. Can you give her a vote of thanks? Then we can take questions, please. Mrs. Esther, you can unmute yourself and give vote of thanks. Then tell us about yourself. What is your occupation and where are you joining us from?
I am Esther Andrew Kera. I'm from Adamawa State. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. What's the occupation from Adamawa State?
Yes.
What's the occupation?
Yes, I'm a nurse by profession.
You are a nurse?
So, accident and emergency friend.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
I want to use this medium to acknowledge for the good presentation she has bestowed on us. In fact, we have learned a lot today in our working place. There is this similar case that we do attend, but with these issues. Thank you very much. We hope that next time you will come and more. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Esther. Thank you so much. I want you to go out there and talk to the women. We are women. You empowered women to empower women. You are empowered now. Go back and empower more women so that the IPV will reduce in Nigeria.
All right. I have one question for you, Madam. Madam Rukayat. So the question is this: which one is the best approach? Punishing the offenders or educating the potential offenders? What's the best option?
Is educating the potential offender. Because from my own perspective, from my own area of career, I work with the inmates. So I realized that most time punishing them, they always come back. So that's why we change it from prison to correction. You correct them in the prison. We have lectures with them, some things like this. I have a lecture where I said health in detention. We talk about it. You have to empower them, educate them, for them to stop coming back. If not, when they go out there, they commit another one, they come back, they serve their jail time, they go back like that. Just like a child. When I used to beating a child with a cane, he's not going to change. Instead, he gets ways of absorbing the pain. You get it?
Thank you, ma. I have another question again. I know you have experience in working with international organizations like Red Cross and other organizations advocating for gender balance and elimination of GBV. So will you say that most international organizations, where do they focus more? Do they focus more on prosecution or prevention? Where do they focus more attention?
Most international organizations focus more on prevention. Okay. Because that's what I keep saying. Whenever we have a meeting, I tell them I'm tired of advocacy awareness. We already know IPV is there. We already know those things are there. The mental health is there. But how are we intervening? How are we going there to intervene? When you talk about mental health, it's zero. The intervening is zero in Nigeria, both the federal government and the NGOs. Everybody is doing advocacy for awareness. What about intervening, like that bystander prevention? How do you prevent? You have a mental health issue now, you call the NDLEA, they give you a number to call. When you get there, they say no space. For the next 3 months, no bed space. So those people that have those children, adolescents, adults.
So if I get you right, the NGO, they raise awareness about GBV, but it's not about mindset changing, like what you are doing in correctional home now, trying to educate the mind.
Yes,
my point? They're raising their awareness.
Yes, they are raising their awareness, but they are not intervening in a way to solve it. It's like me telling you now that there is economic crisis, there is inflation of prices. Yes, but how are you doing to quench it? You have to create more job. You have to give skill to people to make more money. It's not about telling them, yes, I know there is sun now, but what are you doing?
Okay, I get you now. All right, thank you very much. Do you have it's already 5:30? Well, we promise that we're not going to exit 5 o'clock because of I know you two are fasting and you have to go and cook for allergy. All right, thank you everyone. If you have any question, drop it on the comment box, then on the WhatsApp group, then I can relay it to her and other things. All right, thank you. So on this note, I'm going to share the form now to test your knowledge. Today is day 1, understanding GBV, including the video and this class. Those who watch the video, they are there, and those who are going to watch this video again, they're going to see it there. All right, we have come to the end of day 1, so tomorrow is another day. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Dr. Rukayat, very soon. Thank you so much. It was a great presentation. I enjoy your class. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. All right, bye. Good night.
Bye. Bye.